Hello guys, and of course welcome back. This is 2022 February. That's just for reference purposes, in case if this video is no longer relevant as time goes by. Well, I want us to quickly sort of analyze and see how did the statistics panned out. As you know that we bet using statistics as usual. Well, so we're gonna go on recent bets and then go see how did our statistics go. You know what I mean? If it didn't go good, then we sort of check and see where we didn't go good. Well, here we go. Okay, let's start on this one. Well, this one was for yesterday. Okay, so this one is out now. It's not even yet. This one is at least for today. The matches are still here. So I want to take you through this. I have already selected my teams. This is my app, SofaScore. I've already selected my teams. I did select about 8 teams and I did play all of them, I think. Yeah, so I want to take you through now the first match, Tottenham versus Leeds. That match, there is a win, and yeah, it's a win. And let's see what we chose. That we chose over 2.5. Now let's see why did we choose that. That's where now we analyze and go into details. So you know what you do. You always check your standings, but your standings is obvious. Tottenham is much a better team. Yeah, it's a better team when you comparing it to Leeds. You always do that just roughly, in case sometimes teams are sort of, competitive, so that when you're coming here on head-to-head tricks, then you sort of keep that in mind, that these teams in terms of the league and all of that, the standings, they are a match. So these were the statistics. Look at this. More than 2.5. This, out of these statistics, out of 1, 2, 3, out of these statistics that we can make a bet on, you can clearly see that more than 2.5 goals stood out already. Only before this match, it was 5 out of 5 here. Yeah? So it means that it did again happen because Tottenham won 4-0. So it's 6 out of 6. That statistics proved very well that Tottenham, when they meet Leeds, they don't play these teams. They don't waste time. Like they score, man. They score each other, or one of the team scores, which is Tottenham in this case. As you can see, the previous matches, they don't produce anything less than 3 goals. Look at this. Can you see this? Tottenham hammering this team 4-0 today, hammering 3-0 them. Look at this. At least there they drew 2-2. That was quite a long time, though. If you can check that's 2010. But I mean, it's just statistics at the end of the day. Even though it's a long time, I don't want to even consider that this was 2003 and so on. So I would rather take everything off from here and then keep these ones, because these are the most recent ones. But still, if you check these recent ones, the past 3, you can see that Tottenham is hammering this team and it's scoring goals. So definitely we were expecting a match with goals here, even if it's one-sided, and it was the case. So which is why we chose over 2.5 as the statistic here. We could have chosen other scores, like both team to scores, but it was not an outstanding, even though it's statistics. We said before that statistics, numbers, they don't lie, but they disappoint, which in this case they did. You can see that they did disappoint. Maybe the next time around they meet these two teams, they will both team to score, but not this time around. You can see there's an X. They didn't happen. X here in terms of yellow cards, there were more than 4.5 cards, but nevertheless we've managed to choose a right one, which is more than 2.5, which made sense. And then next match, Union Berlin. Okay, let's see what's the next match. Monchengladbach versus Wolfsburg. We also chose 2.5. Let's see why. Monchengladbach, as you can see there, 2-2 the scoreline. It was a tough match, I believe. And then if you can check the standings roughly, you can see these two teams are 2. This is what I'm talking about now when I say standings roughly always. you can see that these two teams, you know, they are more or less the same teams, man, in terms of, because look at their standings, you know, they are both on the same caliber, you know. So even both team to score here was going to be an ideal, even though it's not here on the statistics. But when you check their previous matches, you would have made that sense. Look at this, both team to score, both team to score, both team to score, there and there. You know what I mean? This was a previous season. Maybe the standing was not so good, but this time around, look at the standings. So I'm just now trying to, you know, even going further. That's why we have to also sort of consider the standing in this case. But nevertheless, we decided to choose out of the statistics that are here. You know, most we always choose statistics that are here. We don't make our own thing. We don't suck anything. We don't say both team to score because of the standings or whatsoever. But we keep that in mind. If both team was an option here, we were going to choose it. But it's a pity that it's not here. It's not part of these statistics. Maybe it's because, let me see, it's because they both team to score. No, yes, no, yeah, you see, it's not consistent. But nevertheless, more than 2.5 is the one that made sense here to me. And given the fact that these two teams are more or less the same in terms of the standing, so I thought, look, there will be goals here. And it happened exactly the same I expected. And there were goals. More than 2.5 made sense. That's why we chose it. And then Leverkusen versus Bielefeld. Over 2.5 again. Let's see why we chose that. Where is that Bielefeld? Now, there is it, Leverkusen. 3-0, you can see there. They were hammered, this team. Standings, first of all, roughly, you can see Leverkusen is way high, challenging the league, you know. So we don't even talk about that stand. At least the advantages on Leverkusen. And you can see, before we came here, we saw that these teams can both team to score, but it was not very clear, you know what I mean? Even though it was a statistic, but when we check the previous results, look at this. Okay, the previous one was 4-0 and it was not a both team to score. If you check here again, this one, it was not both team to score. So it's not so much consistent. It's not both team to score, even though it happens. But the most recent one is the one that we must look at, because if you're gonna check here, this one, discard anything that is below 2020. Look at this. These are 2013, 20 what. So these are the only ones that make sense. These 1, 2, 3. So they only both team to score in 2 occasions before this match. So, you know, I wouldn't, you know, go for that one, because those are not enough numbers. So the reason why we chose now over 2.5, because those were more convincing numbers, because out of all of these most recent one, just discuss this 2013. If you start here, you can see over 2.5, over 2.5, over 2.5. So everything, it was a showcase. And then it was over 2.5 again. So which is why we chose over 2.5. And even the cards, they went through, but I mean, over 2.5 was more convincing. So yeah, that's why we chose over 2.5. Another one, Hertha Berlin over 2.5. Same thing. Hertha Berlin, it was the same thing, over 2.5. Look at its standings first. Roughly, don't even waste time there. You can see they're more or less the same, you know, but even though one is higher than the other, but you can see, look at that, Union Berlin in terms of head-to-head, who wins too much matches, it's Union Berlin and all of that. But according to statistics now, the head-to-head, this is the head-to-head. Let's see what we chose there. Hertha Berlin, we said over 2.5 additional totals. Even though it was not here, I think I did took a chance here. I think I did, because this was not on the statistics. This is what I'm talking about now. These are the risks that you must not take. We must just go according to statistics, because look at the cards, more than 4.5. Just saying now, if we could have chosen this was going to be true, you know. But I don't know why. I don't know why I chose over 2.5 goals here. Maybe I was mad, eh? Let me see the previous ones. Oh, maybe I was mad. Maybe I saw these 2, 3, 2, 4 nil. Damn, that was very risky, by the way, eh? It was very risky, but either way, but this is what we were supposed to choose. Now we're going according to stats. It's more than 4.5 cards, and there's a tick. It happened. There were a lot of cards. If you check properly, you can see yellow cards, 4 for this team, 4 for this one, and 1 red card. There were 9 cards here. Damn, that was a lot of money, because more bookings, there's nice money there. And then Brighton versus Aston Villa, we went for bookings here in this case. And guess what? Why did we went for bookings? Let's see why. Brighton versus Aston Villa. We didn't go for goals, but we went for bookings. Standings, let's quite see. Okay, more or less the same teams. Not that bad. So at least a match that is competitive. But look at this. Both team to score was an option here, but I never chose it. Why? Because more than 4.5 cards there was, 100%. So when you have something that is 100%, you always opt for it rather, instead of taking chances on a stat that is, that is not 100%. But this one, it was more convincing. It was 4 out of 4 before this match. Now it's 5 out of 5. So I went straight to that, I just went straight to that. And then let's see what's the next match. Quick one. Getafe versus Alaves. Alaves, total corners, we said under 10.5. Let's quickly see why would you go for under 10.5 in such a match. Standings first. Of course, this will be more or less a competitive because these are more slightly, even though this one is fighting relegation, but they are slightly, even though Getafe, but yeah, we went straight to head-to-head stats. And then we saw that, look at this, what was this? Where is this? Okay, there it is. Less than 10.5. Look at this. It was outstanding. As I've said that, just go for the outstanding ones. In fact, these were the only 2 stats that were here. And less than 2.5 goals was also 100% because it was 5 out of 5. But there's an X, meaning that it didn't happen. Yes, it didn't happen. It didn't happen because the goals are more than 2.5. But I didn't choose this. I decided to choose this even though these were 100% stats. Why I opt for this? Because I sort of consider that standing, as I always say, that you just go here roughly so that you keep this in mind when you bet, so that if these teams are more or less the same, you make your mind when you're choosing stats. So I made up my mind here by saying, let me rather go for corners. Even though these stats are both 100, but let me go for corners. For both teams, for such teams that are competitive, I said competitive because of the standings. So I can't say less, man. The chances that these statistics will disappoint, as we said, that statistics don't lie, numbers don't lie, but they disappoint. And in this case, it was the case, they disappoint. So that was the case, yeah. So I went for this one, and it went through by the look of things. And then let's see the last one that is not yet updated. Let's see what happened. Nice versus Stratford. A quick one here. Player send off. I said there will be a red card in this match, just for your info. Why did I say so? I didn't even trust this. Why? Because because red card low, it's a tough statistic, man. A red card, even though I had, if you check here, this ticket went through and it's, it came through this one. You can see that I didn't include it here. It's the same ticket. Just check. It's the same ticket. But it's a pity that I didn't include Nice. Why? Because I thought, nah, let me rather make another same ticket and include Nice this time around by saying, by choosing an option for player send off, And it was good odds if you check there, 58, But let's see what happened on that match. There we go. You can see a red card. So that ticket went through also. It's a pity that it's not updated, but that doesn't matter. Question is standings first. Look at the standings. Nice and this Strasbourg. You can see this is more or less the same team. Quite competitive. When these two teams are quite competitive, what they will do. They will play to, more or less. It's either you expect goals or maybe tough tackles and so on and so forth. But according to stats, was that thing there? No, look at this. Look what was here on the stats. Less than 2.5 goals. It was here and it was more convincing. Why I'm saying it was more convincing? Because it's 6 out of 7, which is, that's like 90-something%. And this one is 6 out of 8, which is not convincing more than this one. So this one is the better stats out of these ones, So we were supposed to choose this one. And it's a win. Because there is no goals there. It's less. It was going to be a win anyway, So we went for that one. And the odds were very good. But I said, let me not go for that one, rather let me go for red card, because I saw these reds. Even though this one is 20, this is 207, so let's discard that. Let's start from here, rather 2017, or rather even discard that and start from 2019. You see, those two matches whereby there was a red card and there was a slow scoring, you know, there's slow scoring and a red card. So I said to myself, nah man, a red card and a slow scoring, but there's no red card here, and it's not a low scoring, it's not a low scoring, there's no red card, it's not a low scoring, there's a red card. So this time around, this season, these two teams are more or less competitive in terms of standings, you know. So I just thought, nah, then if they are more or less the same in terms of standing, then it will be something like this. That means there will be you know, a competitive match, and there might be a red card, because when two teams are, you know, are sort of you know, are more or less the same, and statistics suggest that there must be less than 2.5 goals, it simply means that it will be the same thing as here. You see here, when it was very low scoring and that was very under 2.5 and there was a red card. But this, it was not so much under, because it was only one goal short of being, you know, more than 2.5. So I didn't consider this, and there's no red card. And this one is over and there's no red card. So today I said, nah, maybe today it will be a different case, you know. Today could be a different case. And then I went for that. Boom, and there's a red card. And the ticket went through, you know. So that's what I decided here. Because if you can check properly, I want to take you to this ticket. If you can check here on this match, it was over 2.5 and there was no red card. And look at the standings, the previous, before these teams met, this was last year. Look, Stellenbosch was somewhere there on 11th. So there was a slight gap, which means that one team was, you know, a little bit more, or rather better than the other. I don't know. But which is why the case of no red card. But I just thought, man, nah, there might be a red card in this case. And luckily, there was. Maybe luck was on my side. But yeah, guys, let's continue using statistics betting. And I want us to see, I will make probably another video, or rather wait for our tickets to sort of end. This is our ticket that I bet earlier. I want to see what happened here. I'm not sure what's happening here. This ticket is ongoing. I don't know what's happening. We did bet this ticket using statistics, of course. It's not us, it's stats. Let's just check that match. I'm sure that match is over. I hope it went through. Where is that match? Man City. Oh damn, I don't know why it's not here. Let's see. Where is Manchester City? Look at this. Look at this match. Statistics disappointing. Look at this. It's still 0-0. Who would have thought? 0-0. Just look at this. 0-0. Just imagine when the stats said more than 2.5. You know? But the most convincing one was 9 out of 9. And this one, 9 out of 9. First team to score or less than 4.5. These were the things that we were supposed to choose. But we were stubborn. We decided to choose this, and now it's chowing us. Because I've just said it now that always choose the one that is 100% when you have more than one stat and the other is good, you know. In this case, this one is good, this one is good. Maybe City will score here and will be the first team to score, and this was going to be a success. Maybe the cards, let's see the cards. Let's see the cards currently. Let's see the cards. There's only 2 yellow cards, you see. And maybe it will be less than 4.5, and then it was going to go through than over 2.5, which is disappointing us because it was not so much convincing than the others. So these are the kind of things, guys, that you will encounter when it comes to statistics. I hope you are learning something, or maybe you are, you know, getting something out of these videos.